we're here to talk a little bit more about what we kind of showed at Connections, some of the new innovations, Salesforce's perspective on how to power profitable commerce growth everywhere with AI, data, and CRM. My name's John Cardaris. I'm a product marketing team for Commerce Cloud. And if you've been to any Salesforce event, you've likely seen our forward-looking statements. So I'm going to take you through line by line really quickly. So if you wouldn't mind, just please make any purchasing decisions based off the products and services that are shown publicly on the website. Thanks. I know, it's a good one. So again, thank you very much for joining us today. I know it's early. Nothing like commerce, tech, and breakfast, right? I mean, you know, it's good. So thank you again for joining us. Really appreciate it. And I'm excited to spend these next couple of minutes with you all. And so there's some of the things that we've been learning about. It's really great. I've been going to some sessions, and I was like, you know what? Messaging's nailed at this event because it's looking like a lot of stuff, and everybody is searching for growth and savings right now. I think I've heard that maybe like 15 times since yesterday. We're seeing a lot of stuff happening right now in the market. You know, CNBC put out that retailers are really seeing a tough year ahead, and they're rolling out the recession playbook, right? And Bloomberg is really talking about global layoffs, and they're continuously happening here, unfortunately. And they're constantly looking for new ways to cut costs. And the Financial Times are looking for new ways to embed generative AI into their experiences and how companies are using generative AI for automation, cost-cutting, efficiencies, doing more with less. Who's heard that this year? Heard that a couple of times, yeah. But these customer expectations are continuously rising, right? We're not letting go as everyday average consumers, right? Especially when shopping with retailers. In fact, 62% of customers really expect companies to anticipate their needs, regardless of these cost-cutting measures and the market changing and the recession rollout and all of that stuff that we just talked about here. And that really made us think at Salesforce here, you know, this is a huge opportunity for commerce, especially for all of us that are retailers and brands out here in the audience. It's really a new day. What was once commerce for just retail is now commerce that's going everywhere. For those of you that are still using service or sales or any other parts of the Salesforce portfolio, it's embedding commerce within those experiences. It's generic storefronts that are now becoming GPT-powered shopping on any channel, right? And these predictive recommendations are now becoming GPT-powered one-to-one promotions. And these singular siloed transactions that were once what we really cared about are now becoming connected omnichannel experiences. I've really had a humbling experience working with a lot of brands and retailers around the world, and I've just seen so much growth here. It's really been humbling to see it. But these brands across RCG and retail, media, telecom, automotive, manufacturing, they're all powering commerce in every industry. No industry is untouched now. It's really just beyond just retail and consumer goods brands here. And we're actually going to be talking to some of my favorite customers here. We'll wave to our customers there later today on our panel. And we're also going to show Yeti's perspective on how they're powering commerce in new ways as well. Yeti coolers, right? And so that's why we created Commerce GPT. We just announced this actually 2 weeks ago in Chicago. And we heard really directly from retailers and brands just like you that you were looking for a new way to power commerce everywhere with AI, data, and CRM at the foundational elements of everything that you do. There's 3 distinct pillars here that we've really organized Commerce GPT around. One is to be able to fuel that growth with power of trusted AI. Next is to be able to personalize every interaction, that hyper-personalization at every stage of the trusted journey that a customer is going through should be with connected data, regardless of what system that it's in, right? Bringing all of that data into one consolidated space so you can start to segment that data, build that data, target your customers with that data, and really build relationships at scale. And of course, being able to sell on every customer touch point with a connected #1 CRM. We're going to go through in just a moment a quick demo showcasing some of our GPT-powered product or GPT-powered features. Some of my favorites, the GPT-powered product description. So for our merchandisers here in the room, you know, having to type all of that information for our PDPs out, our GPT-powered product concierge. This is allowing for an embedded search capability in SMS or WhatsApp, being able to provide that bespoke white glove experience that many of us really love to have at your luxury retailers and brands, being able to allow retailers to have that conversation anywhere on any channel. And then, of course, GPT-powered promotions as well, generating that promotion based off of that connected data and those segments that you've created, doing that at scale. It all starts here with powering commerce everywhere. We talked a little bit about embedding that commerce, not just on a storefront, but bringing that everywhere: service, sales, marketing, and commerce. It begins here with our digital storefronts on the left, and as you shift to scale to the right, you can start to embed these apps, like a Pay Now link, thinking about being able to follow up on within 24 hours. If you maybe abandoned a cart, you should get an SMS recommendation with maybe a 10% coupon code or a free shipping. Hey, you forgot your item, here's a Pay Now link. Let me make this easy for you, right? A reorder portal for those of us that have a B2C and a B2B business, right? Selling direct to retailers or direct to brands or whatnot there, being able to rapidly reorder consistently made orders, eliminating that time that's needed to manually place those orders for reorder with your sales rep. And then also embedding order support. This is everything that happens after the buy button. Once something goes wrong, let's just say a return or a cancellation or a reshipment, we can actually do that right here within Salesforce now, bringing in the contextualized order data and the tools that your CSRs really need to be able to take action quickly. And we're doing this at scale. You know, again, it's a humbling experience to be able to see all the great brands that we've got on the platform right now. We've got over 2 billion shoppers right now actually on the platform. We've got over 10,000 live sites that are on within 84 countries. And we have over 7,000 App Exchange apps, really extending the use cases that are a perfect fit for your business here. Our customers have really seen incredible growth. You know, it's 11% more sales, 51.1 billion recommendations, and 10.3 billion API calls. Incredible. So let's shift over to Yeti. Yeti is one of those brands, one of my favorite household brands. They need no introduction. They are the outdoor enthusiast's best friend. Coolers, Yeti mugs. You know, I start my day with a Yeti mug every day. But this is going to show you how Yeti is using the power of the Salesforce Customer 360 to embed commerce within sales, service, marketing, and commerce. They went up and live in just 1 month, and they've got over a 63% increase in mobile conversions. And so with that, let's transition to our demo. Awesome. So here I am in Commerce GPT. I'm a merchandiser at Yeti, and I'm starting my day thinking about the different ways that I can grow my business and use that data and AI to really propel my business forward here. But sometimes it's hard. Sometimes as merchandisers, we don't know exactly what we need to do, right? And that's why we can use Einstein Next Best Action to see some suggested goals that are AI-driven based off of the data that we have in Salesforce. And so here I am in the guidance center. I see all my suggested goals. I can go ahead and increase average order value, offload outdated product lines, or maybe I want to improve some margins. Today I'm going to offload my outdated product line, and I've got 3 steps in order to be able to do that here. And it looks like Einstein is recommending that I offload the Yeti coolers. First, I'll retarget my past buyers with Data Cloud using the connected data that's within Salesforce. So I'll go ahead and select that. Great. Now I've segmented my data automatically with AI. I can target those segments and retarget those abandoned carts that have happened here. Looks like Einstein has predicted that if I retarget these abandoned carts with a Pay Now link, I can grow my revenue by at least 23%. That sounds pretty good to me. We'll go ahead and do that. A couple of quick links here. We'll set up the SMS follow-up. Now let's set up that Pay Now experience that we were talking about before. Let's kick that off. Because this is on the Salesforce platform, we can use generative AI, Salesforce GPT, to generate that Pay Now experience for me, but it doesn't take me out of the driver's seat. I have all of the experiences on the left panel, and I can make any adjustments that I need. Looks good. I'll go ahead and publish it. Let's go ahead and complete that next step. Great. Up next is to update those product descriptions here. So we'll go into our commerce workspace here. Here's some product descriptions that I need to offload from last season's catalog, and with just one click, I can generate with Einstein GPT all of the product descriptions, and I can edit any of them if I'd like to. I also have all of the sizing information that's brought in here from our order management system. All of the return reason codes are aggregated here and brought into the sizing information, allowing me to know if there's anything that I need to take action. Great. Let's switch over to the consumer side and see this in action. Here I am on Instagram. I'm scrolling through my phone. Definitely an avid skier, so no joke there. I love that. And then I land on the Yeti ad. Awesome. This is powered by Data Cloud that we did earlier. I'm one of the retargets here, so I'll go ahead and shop now. We'll open up the link here. No days off. Love that. And we'll keep scrolling, and we'll see some AI-powered recommendations here. Looks like the Hopper Flip looks good to me. Definitely could use one of those for the beach coming up. So we'll click into that, and here we go. Here is the Einstein GPT product descriptions that we just generated earlier. I'll go ahead and select the size that I want. 12 looks good for me, and we'll go ahead and add that to bag. Einstein also uses AI to complete the set, so if I wanted to get the Yeti Thin Ice in the bottle opener, I certainly could to increase basket sizes. For this scenario, I'll go ahead and just add to the bag of the Hopper Flip. Moments pass. Remember what we abandoned our cart? This is where it happens. Drop my phone. Something happened. It happens to all of us here. This is something as retailers we're constantly trying to battle. Moments pass. Later that evening, I get a text message back from Yeti, and they're reminding me, hey, you've abandoned your cart. Let's take a look what that message looks like here. Here's an automatically generated text message from Einstein GPT inviting me back to a reorder portal or a Pay Now link. I'll go ahead and select into that, and boom. Here is that Einstein GPT generated Pay Now experience here, allowing me to seamlessly check out with Apple Pay. That sounds good to me. I'll do a little Face ID action here, and I'll be well on my way. I'll get to the order confirmation, and I'll be set. Moments pass, and my order is on my way. And just like that, this is how Yeti is powering their seamless experiences here that are personalized using AI data and CRM really at the pivotal moment for their business here. So let's move forward, and great. Let me now introduce Jonathan, Jenna, Richard, and Alex. We'll have our panelists come onto the stage here. I'll swap off, and thank you all so much. We'll be back to close this out in just a minute.
Good morning. Jonathan Dawson. I lead our strategic retail group at Salesforce Commerce Cloud. Joined this morning by a fantastic panel. Why don't you all just take a minute, introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about your roles and your respective organizations.
I'm Rich Pereira. Nice to meet everybody. I'm with Reserve Bar. Reserve Bar is a company that alcohol enables websites. We have a flagship website called reservebar.com. We own minibar.com and getstock.com, but we also power about 200 other websites where we actually can put alcohol on other people's websites. And so I lead the strategic initiatives group, which looks for non-alcohol places to put alcohol. And I can give you some examples of that, but yeah, like we could put, yes, right. You guys are missing out right now. You guys, we could have it in 20 minutes or less, I think. 20 minutes or less.
Awesome. Thanks, Richard. Hi, everyone. My name is Alex Rosen. I'm head of channel partnerships at Walmart Go Local. Here at Walmart Go Local, we are a same-day, next-day delivery provider. So we have a fleet of vehicles and service all over the U.S., and we're able to dispatch a driver to a particular retail location or a storefront and deliver to a consumer's home in a matter of hours. So yeah, super excited to be here today, and thank you for taking the time.
Hi, I'm Jenna Posner, CDO of Snipes. We're a global sneaker and streetwear retailer founded in Germany in 1998. Came to the US by way of acquisition in early 2019. We have grown tremendously over the past 4 years. We've gone through 4 acquisitions. We have over 300 stores. I did the math this morning, I think 12x'd now, digital revenue. It's been nutty, so yeah, excited to be here. We sling sneakers, Nike, Jordan, Adi, Puma. So you got sneakers and booze on the stage today, it's great.
Great panel. So what I think is super cool is that despite Reserve Bar and Snipes being kind of entirely different industries, they've got really incredible perspective on digital transformation. So let's rewind that tape kind of when you
And of course, the fire alarm.
started this journey.
Yeah.
The panel's too hot.
Yeah, right.
It's the booze alarm.
Oh boy.
Jill, I'll defer to you. We can continue on, or? Okay. So let's rewind that tape, kind of when you started that journey, before the fire alarm went off.
Before the fire alarm, yeah.
What were some of the challenges you were trying to address, some of the business opportunities you were trying to unlock? Jenna, maybe I'll let you kick us off.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I came on board, it was early 2019. I was brought on just after Kix USA acquisition. So that's how Snipes actually came to the US market. 64 location retailer based out of Philadelphia. And so I was kind of like this, the phoenix out of the ashes scenario, and acquisitions take place, everything gets stripped down, tech gets pulled out, people get pushed out. You want EBITDA to be like really fat and happy so you can get your biggest multiple. And so I came in and I had an opportunity to rebuild that. So I walked into a Magento environment, boo, and I had to really figure out how I was going to put infrastructure and process in place, a foundation from which we knew that we could grow. The German business is top 3 sneaker and streetwear retailer in Europe. So we knew what our potential was and that we had to have infrastructure in place that could really support our growth. So went through a Salesforce replatform, and we didn't just do Commerce Cloud. We did MuleSoft, which I called a big kid decision at the time. Buying connective tissue to help your systems communicate so early in the game it's a really big investment, and that's something I knew that we needed. And we also bought Service Cloud, and we put that in as well. So we had a really good vision for how we weren't just going to architect our technology, but how we were going to structure our data so we could really be as powerful as possible. And we've really grown from there. First year, I put in 28 pieces of technology. It was pretty nuts. I come from the retail tech side, so I got to call all my friends and say, hey, I'm a retailer now. I need technology. They were like, oh, God, I have to negotiate with you. This is awful. But it was great. It's been wild, and it certainly set us up for success.
Yeah. And Rich, I know you had a similar experience, not taking a streetwear retailer from Germany and bringing it here to America, but taking an industry that's typically been sold in retail stores and making it digital first.
Yeah, I mean, we started 12 years ago. We started on Spree Commerce, then we went to, we were $1 million in revenue to then we moved into Magento and then Community, and then we moved into Shopify. And then over the last 18 months, we moved into to Commerce Cloud. So we've had several transitions over time, and it's just reflective of our growth. We just grew out of whatever platform we were on, and there's reasons for it. I mean, eventually Shopify is an amazing system for what it does, but eventually we outgrew it. We were one of the top stores in Shopify, and we said, listen, we needed a custom checkout, and they wanted to deprecate our custom checkout, which for regulatory purposes, it's not surprising that alcohol needs to be sold by your local retailer, and Shopify couldn't understand that, being a Toronto company. So we had many battles with them. So eventually we got to Commerce Cloud. We were able to do what we needed to do. We needed a lot more product variants. If you can imagine, we had 5,000 retailers, all with a different price for Tito's. Okay, so we need lots and lots of prices for Tito's. So now then, maybe not 5,000, but we needed a lot more than Shopify would allow. So there was good reasons and some generic reasons, but being able to move over into Commerce Cloud was able to give us that headless and yet flexibility that we needed to grow our company. And it really transformed our company, because before, when we were on Shopify, we were very much a website. And then when we moved to Commerce Cloud, we were able to take that and say, hey, you know what, we can power other people. We can actually build this custom checkout, and we can actually put that custom checkout on Tito's.com, which went live last week. So now if you go to Tito's.com, you can actually check out. That's using the same checkout we're using for Reserve Bar on Tito's, and Moet, and Drink 818, which is Kendall Jenner's brand, and Dawson. So we can power all these websites using a custom checkout. We wouldn't have gotten there if we had stayed on Shopify. And so making that transition was great for us.
I always buy my Tito's at $24.99. I did not know there were 5,000
you did
different
not know
prices.
that $24.98 is better.
I'll price shop now. So let's fast forward
what's the moment?
to now. How are you thinking about technology giving you a competitive advantage and being a differentiator? And Rich, maybe I'll let you kick us off this time.
Yeah, I mean, we started as a marketing company. Tito's, Johnny Walker, they would buy brand advertising on Reserve Bar. So we're just banners and different things. That's where we were for 8-9 years of our life. And then when COVID hit, obviously alcohol blew out and alcohol delivery blew out. And then suddenly we needed to become a tech company really quick. And so now we think of ourselves as a software company, as software as a service company. So we really did make that transition from one to the other. And so we wake up every morning and saying, where can we have alcohol e-commerce everywhere? So where should you be thinking on Pinterest, you're seeing a recipe, or you're in a magazine article, you're seeing a recipe, you should be able to buy and transact right there. And so that's really the future of our transformation is sort of how can I do that everywhere you might want to buy alcohol, and so that's our transition.
Like this breakfast.
Like this breakfast. You should all be on. I can't believe you're not on your phone right now. I mean, Some of you are. That's good.
And Jenna, what about you?
Yeah, so after putting in 28 pieces of tech, right, the whole premise behind that is just getting to table stakes, right? Finding a way to, kind of revamp this brand, bring it to the US market, and be able to meet our customers where they are. And so, it's fraud providers, it's shop the look, it's recommendations, it's, all the things that you need in order to have this beautiful baseline from which you can grow. And so we went through that process, and we kind of got to the point where we started realizing more that we were so focused on the front end of the experience that we had really forgotten to lean into the customer and really take care of them. And what we ended up leaning into this past year was, and thank you /pandemic, you're a blessing and a curse, but going through the pandemic and having the type of volume and velocity that we had through that process, when you're 10xing order volume and you're 10xing customer acquisition and you're 10xing your customer service tickets, right? Because your incident rate isn't changing, but your volume is just continuing to increase. It really does show you where your weaknesses are. And so we had the benefit of really learning, where do we need to focus? Where do we need to innovate? And we ended up leaning into order management. And I think telling the story is interesting because I think it's a little unique. I hear that they're naming a new order management SKU after me. Is that true?
That's true.
That's awesome.
As of this morning.
Oh, nice.
As of this panel.
So 2 years ago, I got pitched on Salesforce order management, and I thought, it's too nascent, it's too new. Let this thing mature. I need some time with it. I want to understand, do I have to displace my own order management system? Is this something that I can be utilizing in the market, without having to go through IT and disrupt that whole process? And so I got a pitch on order management, and the way that it was in the beginning, and they've since built all the routing logic and the ability to manage DOM and all the amazing, nerdy, sophisticated, fulfillment logic. What they pitched me in the beginning was really more around creating use cases for order modification. And so I said, this isn't really order management, this is order servicing, right? You're giving me an opportunity to create use cases outside of my order management so that I can allow my internal customer service reps, my external third-party customer service resources, and even my customers to have more control over their orders. And so what was happening during the pandemic is, if you can imagine, being wildly vulnerable right now, is you've got all these orders that are coming in. You've got customers that are saying, oh man, I sent it to the wrong place. Oh man, I want to add this t-shirt to my order. Oh man, I have regrets, I want to cancel this. But when you have 10x the amount of customer service tickets and you're buried, by the time you get to it, you've already shipped it. You've already captured the payment, and you've already disappointed the customer. So how much more powerful would it be if through the lens of scalability, that you could actually expose some of those order modification use cases within the systems that your customers and your service reps can actually modify these orders without having to go into OMS. And so that's where we took our first phase into order management, where we said, okay, we don't want to disrupt the existing order management system. Let DOM and routing continue to function in that environment, but let's build this layer between commerce and order management so we can have more control and we can better serve our customers. So those use cases are being built into Service Cloud and being built into the front end so that customers can modify their orders, change their addresses, add to open orders, et cetera. And the upside and the math around ticket closures and the burden that we will no longer have because we've put the power in the hands of our customers and our service providers is huge.
So I think that's a great segue because you talked about how you switched from kind of focusing on the front end experience to focusing on the very exciting world that is supply chain and fulfillment. And that's a good segue. Alex, how are you as a technology partner thinking about helping your customer provide differentiated brand experiences in that space?
Yeah, I think it's all about the omni-channel experience. I mean, we in the room here, I think we become to expect when we're shopping online, we want that product at our door same day or next day. Due to the rise of a lot of other retailers, Walmart over the last 5 to 10 years have developed an in-house expertise of being able to deliver from a Walmart property or a Sam's Club property to a consumer's home in a matter of minutes to hours. And so for us, we knew that the power that we had internally was very valuable to our brand and retailer partners. So we went out and realized that there's something here, that there's a way for us to go to market with same day, next day delivery. And so from a consumer point of view, we're now offering this technology to everyone's favorite brand or retailer. So no matter where you shop, you think you're shopping at a .com Snipe, maybe it's Snipes, for example, where you go ahead and place an order from that order, you don't even know that Walmart's in the picture. It's completely white labeled. And so from a consumer experience, you're shopping at your favorite brand, you're having an amazing experience. So what I would love for everyone to leave this room with is that Walmart Go Local, we're really focused on two things. I would say one, increasing conversion at the point of purchase, knowing that on average what is drop off at checkout is like 70%. And so of that 70%, a large majority of consumers leave the cart because of long shipping times. So one, focus on enabling fast shipping times by working with Walmart Go Local or a variety of other tools out there. And then two, what we're helping with is retention. So again, if you provide that really good customer experience, if that consumer is able to get their Jordans same day, next day, they're more likely to shop at Snipes or their favorite website. And so for us, that's kind of how we're thinking about omni-channel and helping consumer experiences.
I think one thing that was fascinating for us too in going through a lovely sales process with Alex and his team was they did some really amazing analysis for us, and what we found is that 86% of our transactions that happened in Q4 of last year were shipped to within a 20-mile radius of our physical stores. And yeah, I love that, jaw-dropping. Yeah, I know, it blew my mind. It actually blew all of our minds because there's this like inherent dichotomy between stores and e-commerce where, they're different customers, they're not the same. It's like, no, they're actually the same people. And the more we recognize that they're the same people and that they drive more value when they actually are omni-channel, it's gonna lift all boats, right? So getting that reality and understanding that if we can better service those consumers that are within proximity of our stores, they're gonna come back more often, they're gonna spend more when they do, and meeting them where they are at the intersection of BOPIS, same day, next day, having one of the best logistics technology companies on the back end supplying and serving this is, a no-brainer for us.
And I'll add just one thing. It's beyond just Go Local. Here at Walmart, we're thinking about other solutions such as Walmart Store Assist, which is a buy online, pick up in store application. We're thinking about marketplaces. We're thinking about advertisement, you name it. And so we're really thinking about in-house expertise that we've built, proprietary technology, and how do we go ahead and work with, best-of-breed brands and retailers. So, yeah.
Excellent. Well, I know we're at time, so I'll ask one final question. Any parting words of wisdom or advice you give the audience as they start on their digital transformation journeys?
Yeah, I mean, we're all about powering marketplaces. Think about your own websites and what other products could you be putting on beyond what you sell. So how can you add? So we're adding alcohol to sites like take Barbecue Guys. We can add a bourbon store. How can they be taking that revenue? How can they be adding additional product that's normally not in their product catalog? So that's sort of something to think about. Like as you think about your own sites, what else could I be adding on our site from a product perspective as a marketplace? Think of yourself as a marketplace. That's a little different.
Yeah, for us, I would, when you're thinking about a last mile provider, think about cost, coverage, capabilities, service, you name it. So be thinking about, who is that right partner to really take you to the next level, and so that's kind of what I would be thinking about if I'm thinking about last mile.
I would say two words of wisdom here. One is when you're looking at things like OMS or you're looking at implementations that span multiple channels, right? If you're going to be doing same-day delivery, you've got to have tie-ins to store inventory. You've got to have, right? This is an omni-channel effort. Get in there early with your teams. I think as digital executives, we kind of get stuck in our own worlds and we feel very confident about making the decisions that we have control over. This definitely, the web is wide with this one, and the sooner you can get your peers at the executive level on board with the value, the opportunity, the level of effort, and get the respect on the project. If you're trying to do that midstream, it's just not going to work. It's going to get hung up. It's going to slow down. It's going to be difficult. So I would say that's kind of one piece: is do the early work through the lens of partnership to really gain that alignment and get that support as you move forward. Don't go rogue and try to jam it in. All right, learn that one. And then I would say the second piece is, I'll just say this because I believe in this wholeheartedly, and it's the reason why I'm up here with these folks today, is as a retail executive, you've got to really lean into partnership. You've got to find ways to think about how you can give back to your vendors, ways that you can talk about the great work that you're doing, have transparency and trust with them, and share your vision so that they can be building product that's going to help you elevate your brand and your agenda. And the sooner that, as a digital executive, you do that, the more value you're going to get out of them, the more go-to-market opportunity they're going to get out of you, and it creates this beautifully reciprocal relationship that really drives value. And I don't believe that there are enough retail executives out there that are really taking the time to do this work and get involved. So I just want to say that and preach the good word and encourage you all to reconnect and be more transparent with your tech vendors. I can say this because I was one at one point. So.
Love that.
Well said.
Great pitch.
Well, there you have it. Thank you to our panelists. Thank you. And John, I'll turn things back over to you to bring us home.
Thank you all.
All right. Nice work. Awesome stories. Really good stuff. Thanks, guys. Awesome. Well, we're wrapping up here. Last couple of things that I wanted to share. There's this concept here that we're really starting to introduce here at Salesforce. As you can see, and as you've heard from our panelists, commerce is really everywhere. It's not just on the storefront here. And so we're really taking this to heart here at Salesforce. We're bringing commerce to all of the customer experience touch points across the entire customer C360, sales, service, marketing, and commerce. Right? We're embedding it everywhere. This is really just the beginning here. So just excited to learn more and see where we're going with this. In the spirit of learning here, I want to invite everyone here to our booth. We're booth 219 on floor 3. Any questions you have, if you'd like to see a live demo of maybe those GPT-powered generative product descriptions, that's live product, and we're ready to show it today. So please swing by. We'd love to show it to you. We have a commerce report here. If anybody's interested, go ahead and snag yourself a copy. There's a QR code on the right. And then, of course, our AEs are also here as well if you'd like to get any more further hands-on consultation. With that, thank you again so much. I really enjoyed the time here with you all today, and I look forward to seeing you all later this afternoon. Have a great rest of your conference. Thank you.